We know there's been countless posts, articles, videos, and so on already this year about our descent into fascism, but it's not overblown to cover these things for what they are. Because beating around the bush about what's happening allows us all to fall into this trap much faster because people refuse to take it seriously. This is how it happens. They chip away bit by bit, normalizing everything that's going on as it unfolds slowly so that people are desensitized to it. Especially the folks who voted for the guy who's doing it, who I would argue if you had snapped them into the future and shown anyone what was going on, I feel like at least some people would be like, oh, this is bad, but they've been slowly boiled.
Even if it was like 5% of the people that voted for him, it would be a pretty significant amount of people.
Now, every week that goes by is another week with another leap forward in Trump's authoritarian overreach. Things that seemed unlikely or even impossible just months ago are already happening out on city streets and behind the scenes at the White House. Some events are more egregious than others, but it's all working towards the same goal, a complete authoritarian takeover of the United States of America. And this week has already become one of those extremely alarming periods that proves we're well past the line. We have crossed whatever imaginary line that people were waiting for, and Trump's fascist takeover is running at full speed. You can argue where that line was, but it's in the rear view. Yeah. I'm sorry, it is.
It's just one of those weeks. And to be clear, sorry if we're missing some stuff, but we've got masked secret police doing warrantless raids on local businesses, showing up at people's homes, pulling them out of cars, grabbing them at their court appearances, or just snatching them directly off the street. We've got multiple investigations into the president's enemies, which include former government officials, some of whom were involved in his own previous administration. Military deployed on city streets around the country with threats to expand the military presence into other metropolitan cities whose leadership runs afoul of the president. The near complete destruction of mainstream press, from local newspapers to national outlets all the way up to major media conglomerates who have not only fired large swaths of their workforce but have also paid to settle lawsuits with the president with an understanding that they should avoid being critical of him.
Mm-hmm.
We have alienated ourselves around the world through tariffs and an unwillingness to work with our now former allies. The leader of our country is facing a scandal where he's been accused of unspeakable acts alongside the world's most notorious sex trafficker while his party runs cover for him. He's working to redraw electoral maps in order to stay in power, and shall I go on?
Yeah, he's caused irreparable damage to government programs and institutions that help people both here and abroad, while also having a squad of teenagers siphon up people's most private and sensitive data. He's accepted gifts from a long line of businesses and world leaders who are eager to use his power to give themselves the upper hand, while also recently starting a government takeover of certain American businesses. He's pressured local governments into banning books or certain curriculum from schools. He's defunded public broadcasting. He's fired nonpartisan government officials because he didn't like the numbers they were putting out. He wants to have an MMA match on the White House lawn for the country's birthday next year. And he's trying to ban flag burning. And I don't think we really need to go on. I think you get the picture. There's plenty more, but each one of those things is a serious attack on democracy and the American way of life. But it definitely paints an even darker picture when laid out the way that we just did, and it should shock you. These are all just a few of the things that have happened since January. And over the past couple of days, we've seen that this isn't stopping, and it's only going to keep expanding.
So is Trump a full-blown dictator? Well, would a dictator say this?
And they say, we don't need him, freedom, freedom. He's a dictator, he's a dictator. A lot of people are saying maybe we like a dictator.
Again, we are well past him admitting it, denying it, or basically saying, well, people want it.
I'm not a dictator, but I know a lot of people want me to be a dictator, so I guess maybe
they're asking for it. Give the people what they want.
Yeah.
But yeah, for the most recent proof, we should probably start with the fact that late last week, the Supreme Court voted to allow the Trump administration to stop nearly $1 billion worth of federal funding for National Institutes of Health grants, because he claims that those grants were for woke DEI bullshit.
Yep, take that money back.
Now, this started back in February when the NIH began terminating federal grants en masse for projects that did not align with the Trump administration's policies. In what the American Civil Liberties Union has referred to as an ideological purge, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., the Secretary of Health and Human Services, instructed a reevaluation of all grants funding or supporting DEI and gender-affirming research activities and programs. Funding was also withdrawn from projects studying vaccine hesitancy and the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, projects that the NIH asserts have outlasted their limited purpose. These cuts were challenged and put on hold, but last week the heavily stacked Supreme Court decided to allow Trump to continue cutting grants that his administration doesn't agree with. It's another in a long list of Trump's dismantling of our norms to the detriment of its citizens.
Yeah.
But the dissent written by Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson perfectly summarizes the reality of the situation directly from someone who is part of the only group of people capable of stopping Trump, but who can't because of how the court is stacked and packed.
Yeah, here you go. In a broader sense, however, today's ruling is of a piece with this court's recent tendencies. Right when the judiciary should be hunkering down to do all it can to preserve the law's constraints, the court opts instead to make vindicating the rule of law and preventing manifestly injurious government action as difficult as possible. This is Calvin Ball jurisprudence with a twist. Calvin Ball has only one rule. There are no fixed rules. We seem to have two. That one, and this administration always wins.
Okay, it's Calvin Ball.
It's been entered into the official record.
I mean, that's kind of cool. All else aside.
Yeah, having Calvin Ball in
It's
the
at
official
least
Supreme Court
one
record.
person on the Supreme Court is acknowledging that rules are just kind of not real. Mm-hmm. They are kind of just making it up as they go along.
We are quite literally, I mean, it's the same reference, basically. It's just a different piece of pop culture, but we're very close to having an Air Bud ruling read aloud in the Supreme Court.
Yep.
So,
The most prescient movie of our lifetime.
and Calvin and Hobbes, one of the most prescient strips of all time.
Yeah.
So there you go. Calvin Ball is happening, and there's really nothing they can do about it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, one thing that the Supreme Court has been pretty clear on, though, at least historically, is that burning the American flag is a constitutionally protected right. But I guess we'll see how that stands up against this administration, because on Monday morning of this week, amongst a flurry of other pronouncements and executive orders that we will get to, Trump also declared that burning the flag is illegal. Anyone caught doing it will spend a year in jail for it.
Flag burning. All over the country, they're burning flags. All over the world, they burn the American flag. And as you know, through a very sad court, I guess it was a 5-4 decision, they called it freedom of speech. But there's another reason, which is perhaps much more important. It's called death. Because what happens when you burn a flag is the area goes crazy. If you burn a flag, you get 1 year in jail, no early exits, no nothing.
All right, well, fuck it. Shit!
Yeah. Well,
Oh, hold on. Gotta.
it's still good. Okay. Yeah, that'll do it. Oh, good thing I was full of liquid, full of electrolytes.
Okay.
I'm still going.
Okay, so look, if it weren't clear, flag burning is it's one of those things. It's a constitutionally protected action under the First Amendment. And the Supreme Court definitively ruled on this back in 1989 in Texas v. Johnson. That's a case that declared that burning the American flag is protected under freedom of speech.
It's also literally in the flag code. Like, if you want to get really nitpicky about the rules, like if your flag is ever improperly used, is desecrated in some way,
You're supposed to burn
you're
it.
supposed to burn it.
But this is Trump. So he's assuming that his orders supersede Supreme Court decisions, which they absolutely shouldn't.
Guess we'll see.
Like we've seen a few times now, his Supreme Court, they do things a little bit differently. And he's already got Pam Bondi on the case. Here's the Associated Press. The executive order also called for Attorney General Pam Bondi to pursue litigation to challenge the 1989 ruling, an attempt by Trump to get the issue back in front of the Supreme Court. Today's Supreme Court is much more conservative than the makeup of the court in 1989 and includes 3 judges Trump appointed in his first term. Civil liberties advocates and constitutional scholars question both the legality and the merit of Trump's action. A lawyer working for a free speech group said Trump does not have the power to rewrite the First Amendment. In the 1989 case, the justices ruled 5-4 that the First Amendment protects flag burning as legitimate political expression. The late Justice Antonin Scalia, the conservative icon whom Trump has repeatedly praised, was in the majority. On Monday, Trump described the 1989 court behind the ruling as a very sad court.
The fucking Reagan court. What are you talking about? God damn it. All over the country, they're burning flags. No, what? Where? All over the world, they burn the American flag, Trump said, as Vice President J.D. Vance, Bondi, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, and other administration officials stood behind him as he sat at his desk. G.S. Hans, a law professor at Cornell University who focuses on the First Amendment, said the country has not suffered from an endemic of flag burning. I don't think this is something that has been a big problem, Hans said in an interview. It's a solution in search of a problem. The executive order states that desecrating the American flag is uniquely offensive and provocative. It is a statement of contempt, hostility, and violence against our nation. The clearest possible expression of opposition to the political union that preserves our rights, liberty, and security. I love bringing up rights while you're talking about trampling our rights. Burning this representation of America may incite violence and riots. The order calls on the Attorney General to prioritize enforcement to the fullest extent possible of criminal and civil laws against flag burning that cause harm unrelated to the First Amendment's free speech guarantee. His new executive order was immediately tested by someone who appears to have been a military veteran, setting fire to the flag across the street from the White House in protest. He was promptly arrested, but since this clip popped up right before we filmed, we aren't sure about what he's been charged with.
Yeah.
I mean,
this is like
fire is dangerous. So,
sure,
there might be something there.
He seemed to be very in control of it, and gave a full speech before and during that expressed why he was doing it in protest, who it was directed towards, and his full anticipation of being arrested. So it's like, it seems like a pretty watertight case for any lawyer who decides to take it up. But much like the guy who threw the sandwich, this happened right before we came in, so we don't have any information about this going forward.
I mean, this would indeed test Trump's order in a legitimate and public way. So way to go to that guy for being brave enough to test it out on the president's doorstep.
Yeah.
Very cool.
In addition to the flag burning order, Trump has signed executive orders aimed at ending cashless bail, starting in Washington, D.C., and that's so people who are arrested and can't afford bail will have to just stay in custody. Oops. I wonder who's going to suffer the most from that.
Probably the poor.
And that demand extends to other cities around the country who should, according to Trump, follow suit or lose their federal funding. A threat that he keeps trotting out and...
why do we even have local governments in this country? We should just let the president run everything down.
I guess so. A White House spokesperson said, the executive order will ask law enforcement to work to ensure that arrestees are taken into federal rather than local custody. And Axios added that D.C. largely eliminated cash bail in the 1990s, making it one of the first jurisdictions to do so. Under the city's policy, a judge assesses whether a defendant should be released from prison based on their risk of not showing up for trial. And it looks like this is also in preparation for an expanding military presence in cities across the country, because another executive order that was signed keeps National Guard troops ready and waiting to invade any American city that Trump deems worthy at any point in time. And he's recently threatened to send the National Guard into cities like Chicago, San Francisco, and New York City. What do they all have in common? Well, anyways, here's the Times with more on this.
President Trump directed the Defense Department on Monday to take a larger role in domestic law enforcement, including by quelling civil disturbances, as he threatens to broaden deployments of the National Guard in cities run by his political enemies.
Oh, that's it.
Okay, pause, because just listen to that last part to realize how far we've come in just the past few months. Trump threatens to broaden deployments of the National Guard in cities run by his political enemies. Anyway, it unfortunately continues. The executive order released by the White House on Monday morning also formalizes the creation of specially trained National Guard units in the District of Columbia and all 50 states that can be mobilized quickly for ensuring the public safety and order. Mr. Trump has mused openly about expanding the deployments to other cities, particularly Democratic strongholds like New York, Chicago, and Baltimore, saying crime there is out of control. On Monday, Mr. Trump said he could solve crime in Chicago in a week, though he hedged about whether he planned to move ahead with sending troops there.
It continues, while Guard troops have been temporarily mobilized by governors in the past to respond to natural disasters and occasionally for civil unrest, the order appears to carve out a much larger domestic role for the National Guard. Monday's order appears to create a force of Guard soldiers that could be called out by the White House regardless of whether state and local law enforcement are available and able to handle civil disturbances, raising significant legal questions. It's always raising those significant legal questions and never really answering them until it's too late. And the answer usually seems to be,
Yeah, sure,
I mean,
whatever.
he's just going to do it, so whatever.
No rules.
Yeah. And yeah, if anyone actually cared about the rules anymore, here's a quote that they got from a law expert named Elizabeth Goyden, the senior director at the Brennan Center for Justice at New York University's Law School. Quelling civil disturbances is the responsibility of state and local law enforcement, except in the most extreme instances. Having soldiers police protests, as this order envisions, threatens fundamental liberties and public safety, and it violates a centuries-old principle against involving the military in domestic law enforcement. But that's not all, because Stephen Miller makes an appearance. Hey, I'm going to make things worse because I'm Stephen Miller, and that's just who I am. The order also directs a task force in Washington led by a White House advisor, Stephen Miller, to create an online portal for Americans with law enforcement or other relevant backgrounds and experience to apply to join federal agents in enforcing Mr. Trump's crime emergency order in the District of Columbia.
Cool.
Yeah.
Finally something to do.
Mm-hmm.
We honestly have no idea how long any of this will last, though the president has expressed concern over his own health for the first time recently, even wondering aloud if he'd be going to heaven.
I want to try and get to heaven if possible. I'm hearing I'm not doing well. I hear I'm really at the bottom of the totem pole. But if I can get to heaven, this will be one of the reasons.
Yeah, I wouldn't...
He's been hiding the hand a lot more. I don't want to be like a fucking conspiracy guy, because there's plenty of that online.
His hand's
But it
always
is-
bruised as hell.
Yeah, he has been hiding it noticeably more.
I mean, they came out like a few months back. He's got like that blood thing. His blood ain't moving so good. I don't know. I'm not going to get my hopes up about something happening.
yeah, I think it's probably affecting him more on like a vanity level.
Yeah.
More just like, ooh, my hand's ugly.
I mean,
My ankles are ugly.
he has been especially disgusting lately.
That's true, sir.
But hey, we can at least hope that eventually a bunch of these National Guard guys will get sick of this and maybe want to go back to their families and their normal jobs.
Yeah, because these are just like...
This is not what they signed up for
No,
at all.
These are, basically regular citizens who have actual jobs they should be doing and families they should be with. And now they're being called up to go to D.C. And another thing that has struck people as noticeably odd is the fact that, Republican governors are really gung-ho about sending their state National Guard militaries to help their Republican president. It's
Yeah.
it's a couple steps too far. The line's way back there. They're crossing it. They're pissing all over it.
They're pissing on him.
That's right.
The never-ending flow of ICE agents, though, that's where the real sickest freaks are going to be springing up.
Yeah.
Freaks like former Superman actor Dean Cain, who recently participated in what can only be described as a humiliation ritual, where the 59-year-old actor was filmed while participating in, I guess, some sort of ICE obstacle course. Looked more like a dog party.
Yeah, it was. If this is what they're using to train, guys, just run.
Yeah, like a brutalist playground.
Yeah, it really looked like that. Like, it looks like a playground from the 90s, just steel and concrete.
Yeah, you got Mr. Cain here struggling to complete the course. He's huffing, he's puffing.
But he's waiting for that treat at the end.
But he's doing it anyway.
Yeah.
So that, he could earn the privilege of abusing brown people. It's worth it.
Yeah, Dean, this is a real course. Now step over this bar and get on the ground and walk like a dog. Now bark for us, Dean. You want to arrest immigrants, right? Bark, Dean, bark.
What do we do when we see an immigrant? That's right.
Speaking of barks, Luca, get over here. It's your time to shine.
Luca, you've been wanting to come over here all fucking day.
Yeah, it's a heavy episode today, so we had to bring in the big guns.
Come here, buddy.
There's the boy.
This is what you wanted, Luca.
Yeah, now you get to tell everyone be cool while they read the one ad read for the day.
Yep, he's done.
He's tired of it now. Anyways, I know from firsthand experience that Luca is always trying to get a bite of my food, but he can't have it because these delicious meals are for big, sexy humans like me, Elliot, and all of you. This episode is sponsored by Tempo. Summer's winding down, but there's still plenty of time for vacations, outdoor activities, and more. But that also means less time spent cooking healthy meals at home. If you're reaching for quick solutions that don't compromise your nutrition, Tempo's got your back. With fresh, protein-rich meals ready in just 3 minutes, you can fuel your summer fun without sacrificing your health or your valuable free time. Tempo delivers fresh, chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals right to your door. Packed with protein, their delicious meals will help keep you fueled and ready for your next workout.
Tempo serves up fast, feel-good, single-serving meals that are crafted to cook in just 3 minutes so you can eat well without sacrificing taste or convenience. With new recipes each week that are made with real ingredients and nutrient-rich, they make it easy to keep up a healthy lifestyle. Their perfectly portioned lunches and dinners take the guesswork out of eating well, are fully prepared, and can be heated in the microwave in just 3 minutes. They offer a variety of meals for different dietary and taste preferences, including protein-packed, calorie-conscious, carb-conscious, and fiber-rich. That's the one I'm going to be getting.
I just had a recent, it was mushrooms and pasta and chicken, and it was delicious. And I got meatballs waiting for me at home.
Oh, baby. For a limited time, Tempo is offering our viewers 60% off your first box. Go to tempomeals.com/todaydaily. That's tempomeals.com/todaydaily for 60% off your first box. tempomeals.com/todaydaily. Rules and restrictions may apply.
All right, back to the news now. And yeah, this next story, not fun. But if you stick around, we'll cover more AI psychosis stuff.
Oh, good.
I mean, that's not fun either, but it's somehow lighter than anything else we've talked about today. So on Monday of this week, Kilmar Abrego Garcia was once again taken into ICE custody with the intention of removing him from the United States.
I don't know if the government has ever had it out for a random dude to this extent.
It's because this all blew up in their face, and it happened way quicker than they thought it would. It was like one of the first big publicized deportations down to El Salvador, and they fucked it up so bad that they had to admit that they were wrong, and they still don't care. They're still like ruining this guy's life. So yeah, they're trying to remove him again from the United States, just like they did illegally a few short months ago.
Yeah, he was down in El Salvador for a couple of months.
Yeah, Abrego Garcia's arrest and deportation has become one of the most famous examples of this administration's blatant overreach when it comes to mass deportation without due process. He was here legally after being granted legal status back in 2019, which, by the way, again, was during the first Trump presidency. He is married to a United States citizen and has a son here. And he was also complying with his yearly immigration check-ins, which were required as part of his legal status. He was doing everything right. But in the early waves of mass capture and deportation, he was sent to a prison in El Salvador after what was described afterwards as an administrative error.
Like immediately, they were like, yeah, we fucked up. But wait, what? He's already there.
Already there. Can't do it.
Why
don't you ask El Salvador to send him back? And then the president of El Salvador was like, no, the U.S. has labeled this man a terrorist, and that would be illegal for me to do. So it's like just dehumanizing and awful intentionally. And it was kind of, after they fucked up, it kind of seemed like a way for them to say, we can fuck up, we will, and it doesn't matter what you say.
We're gonna hurt a lot of people.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they literally admitted that they fucked up and sent someone down to a torture prison on accident, but they refused to correct the error. What am I supposed to do about it? He was finally returned after his story blew up. Orders were issued by federal district judges, and public pressure resulted in multiple elected officials taking on the case, with some even traveling down to El Salvador to meet him. Mr. Garcia was returned to the United States in early June, and upon return faced bullshit charges that he had trafficked thousands of migrants. He was being held in federal custody in Tennessee over those charges, but was finally released last week and was reunited with his family for the first time in months. Once home, he was under strict guidelines on where he could stay and when he'd have to check in at the local immigration office. Unfortunately, the Trump administration announced over the weekend that they would be meeting Kilmar Abrego Garcia at immigration court on Monday so they could deport him once again, this time to, I don't know, spin the wheel. Uganda.
There we go.
I guess we're going to send this man who's never been to Africa to Uganda.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. Now, Monday morning arrived. Garcia showed up to court. He was promptly detained by ICE, where he was apparently given two options. Plead guilty to charges of human trafficking, despite a trial date already being set for January. If he pleads guilty, he still gets kicked out of the country, but is awarded the privilege of being deported to Costa Rica. Or if he rejects the plea deal, they will try to deport him to Uganda.
And he's already said that he didn't fucking do this.
Yeah.
And was rightfully waiting for the actual trial to prove that he did not do this.
A miscarriage of how, just the basic elements of how justice is supposed to work.
We're going to try to railroad this guy because he made us look bad, is what is happening.
So here's NBC with a few more of the details, starting with a quote from one of his attorneys. There was no need to take him into ICE detention. The only reason they took him into detention was to punish him for exercising his constitutional right to speak up and fight proceedings, said Simon Sandoval-Motionberg, one of Abrego's attorneys. Monday afternoon, Sandoval-Motionberg said Abrego was being held at a detention center in Virginia.
Abrego filed a new lawsuit in U.S. District Court in Maryland seeking to ensure that he is not removed from the United States pending his immigration proceedings. The lawsuit asked a federal judge to issue an order that Abrego not be allowed to be removed from the United States unless he is given proper due process to fight his potential deportation. At a hearing Monday afternoon, U.S. District Judge Paula Zinnes ordered that Abrego must stay detained in the United States, temporarily blocking his deportation to Uganda until she holds an evidentiary hearing. The government says Abrego was mistakenly deported to El Salvador in March in violation of a 2019 court order. After much legal resistance, he was returned to the United States in June and hit with human smuggling charges out of Tennessee, which he pleaded not guilty to. The Trump administration has repeatedly accused Abrego of being a member of the notorious MS-13 gang, which his attorneys have denied. The Trump administration offered Abrego a plea deal last week. His lawyers said in a court filing Saturday that was part of their efforts to get the charges in Tennessee dropped over what they consider vindictive and selective prosecution. If he pleads guilty to the federal charges out of Tennessee and serves time, he can be deported to Costa Rica. The Costa Rican government said he would live as a free man there, according to the filing. Sandoval Moshenberg said Abrego would not accept the plea deal, as he will not accept charges of which he's not guilty.
Yeah, which I'm... God.
This is just so... It's crazy on its face. Just, if you plead guilty to these charges that we fabricated on you, you can essentially move to Costa Rica. And the Costa Rican government's like, yeah, you'll be a free man here in Costa Rica.
Yeah,
Isn't it beautiful? Bring the family down. Or option B, you stay and try to fight this. You've already said you're not guilty. You have lawyers representing you. You have a trial in January. You can stay here and fight it. But if you choose to do that, we're going to actually deport you to Uganda.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how anyone can defend any of this shit. It's
there's a lot of things that are indefensible,
unconstitutional, illegal, and intentionally cruel, and racist.
Yeah,
it's definitely like, oh, would you rather go to South America or Africa? Or send you to Africa? Mm-hmm. Like there's something going on there, and there's also maybe a bit of a Zoran Mamdani element there because he grew up in Uganda and
just visited.
Yeah, he just visited there too. So I guess they had Uganda on the brain. Yeah. And anyway, fuck this country. If I had a flag, I would burn it and piss on it.
I could bring it back to life, and then we could do it again, but it's already gone.
Anyway, moving on now. It's AI psychosis time yet again. And it looks like you might be the unwilling participant in a false reality through no choice of your own. And we might also be unwilling participants despite our animosity towards AI. Because according to some large creators, YouTube is apparently using artificial intelligence to alter and improve some videos without the creators' knowledge or permission.
Oh, good.
The AI said, hey, looking a bit tired there. hey, baby, why don't you spend a little more time in the makeup chair?
And as two YouTubers who have never worn makeup on camera, maybe we need it. Maybe I am looking, everyone's like, oh, Ricky.
Looking gaunt, looking haggard.
No, it's because I run too much. I lost all my baby fat.
So yeah, this has resulted in videos that look like the creator themselves has added AI enhancements or filters, some face tuning to their videos.
Which I don't want to do because I fucking, like, when people do it on Instagram, I'm like, everyone can see that you got the filter on, right?
Yeah.
It is bizarre.
I don't know. I'm curious. I'd like to be yassified just once, just to see what it's like.
Elliot with the hands like this, with the manicure going. No, and I saw that it says it in here, but like one of the features that it does is like I've definitely worn like some crumpled up shirts before on the show.
It smooths them out.
It smooths the shirts out too.
It does your laundry for you.
It does your laundry. It cleans up your face. Yeah. Elliot's gonna have no beard. Why fly to Turkey when you can just take your hat off and YouTube will do the rest?
Yeah, give me my hairline back.
But yeah, it looks like YouTubers themselves, it appears, that's the problem.
Yeah.
It looks like the YouTubers are the ones turning these filters on and smoothing out their own skin, glazing the video in a way that makes everything look obvious to people who know what to look for.
Yeah.
And that would make us and other people who fucking hate AI look bad.
Yeah, that'd be really embarrassing if people thought that I was doing that.
Also, I want to look terrible because if you see me in real life, I don't want to look like I've been faking it.
Yeah.
I don't want to look like, damn, he looks like shit in real life.
People to be like, wow, I thought he was fucking hideous based on the YouTube videos, but he's actually
looks pretty normal, yeah. I know a lot of our videos don't have a whole lot of rewatchability because it's all current events, but if you ever see something that we appear in that looks undeniably altered by AI, please let us. If you see something, say something.
Yeah, and don't fake it.
Yeah.
Don't fabricate evidence here.
Although Elliot does say he wants to be yassified.
Not really.
Okay.
Also,
Tell us on Blue Sky.
the funny thing is, like, because I have a beard, like, almost none of those filters, like, actually work. They get very confused by the beard and the glasses.
Yeah.
Glasses is always a huge problem with, like, any face filters. So, yeah, I mean, I'm kind of immune. I've kind of got, like, a built-in Insane Clown Posse makeup situation going on.
The natural juggalo features.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Anyways, with more on this dumb bullshit that no one asked for and no one gave permission for YouTube to use, here's the BBC.
Rick Beato. Oh, no, they did it to Rick?
Yep.
Oh, fuck. Rick Beato's face just didn't look right. I was like, man, my hair looks strange, he says. And the closer I looked, it almost seemed like I was wearing makeup. Beato runs a great YouTube channel with over 5 million subscribers where he's made nearly 2,000 videos exploring the world of music. Something seemed off in one of his recent posts, but he could barely tell the difference. I thought, am I just imagining things? Turns out he wasn't. In recent months, YouTube has secretly used artificial intelligence, AI, to tweak people's videos without letting them know or asking permission. Wrinkles in shirts seem more defined. Skin is sharper in some places and smoother in others. Pay close attention to ears and you may notice them warp. These changes are small, barely visible without a side-by-side comparison. Yet some disturbed YouTubers say it gives their content a subtle and unwelcome AI-generated feeling. There's a larger trend at play. A growing share of reality is pre-processed by AI before it reaches us. Eventually, the question won't be whether you can tell the difference, but whether it's eroding our ties to the world around us.
Yeah, it's going to start driving everyone crazy. Because you're going to be watching this video and being like, did YouTube alter this video?
Yeah, an interesting aspect of this that comes up every once in a while is, so all of our smartphones, whether you have an Android or an Apple,
it's like built in.
Yeah, when they talk about like the megapixels and shit, like the camera itself, just by nature of like being tiny, is not all that capable. And they use AI to like sort of fill in the blanks. So anyway, anytime anyone like zooms in really close on a cell phone picture, they're like, oh, this is AI because everything looks fucking freakish. But it's like, I mean, yeah, technically it's AI, but the person posting it isn't trying to like fool you.
Yeah.
It's just what the phone camera pictures look like when you zoom in on any details.
Unless you own a Samsung and are trying to take a picture of the moon.
Yeah, then they just put a new moon right on top of it.
I mean, the moon never changes. Just
Here's
fuck
your
it.
moon.
Fuck it. We all know what the moon looks like. Add it in there. Now it continues with some quotes from Rhett. The more I looked at it, the more upset I got, said Rhett Shull, another popular music YouTuber. Shull, a friend of Beato's, started looking into his own posts and spotted the same strange artifacts. He posted a video on the subject that's racked up over 500,000 views. If I wanted this terrible over-sharpening, I would have done it myself. But the bigger thing is it looks AI generated. I think that deeply misrepresents me and what I do and my voice on the internet. It could potentially erode the trust I have with my audience in a small way. It just bothers me.
I've also recently been seeing, this is mostly like TikTok and Instagram videos, but like clips from movies where it's a movie, it looks fine, but people like running it through AI filters and it looks AI generated because it's just like smooth as shit and all the like edges are super sharp.
They might be doing that to get around copyright infringement too.
Hey, maybe, but it's very unsettling.
Yeah, it sucks.
And I don't like it.
The outlet adds that Shull and Beato weren't the first to notice the problem. Complaints on social media date back to June at least, with users posting close-ups of odd-looking body parts and questioning YouTube's intentions. Now, after months of rumors and comment sections, the company has finally confirmed it is altering a limited number of videos on YouTube Shorts, the app's short-form video feature.
We're running an experiment on select YouTube Shorts that uses traditional machine learning technology to unblur, denoise, and improve clarity in videos during processing. Similar to what a modern smartphone does when you record a video, said Renee Ritchie, YouTube's head of editorial and creator liaison, in a post on X. YouTube is always working on ways to provide the best video quality and experience possible and will continue to take creator and viewer feedback into consideration as we iterate and improve on these features. YouTube did not respond to the BBC's questions about whether users will be given a choice about AI tweaking their videos. Yeah. Is it like no reason provided? But I assume the reason is a similar reason. Like, we've heard about stuff like this happening with TikTok, where TikTok has a long history of essentially hiding ugly people. like, like they trained an AI to like recognize how attractive people are.
It doesn't serve
and, like,
the ugly
hide people that are unattractive. And this is YouTube kind of doing the same thing where it's like, we found that people spend more time scrolling YouTube shorts the hotter the people they are.
That's right.
And if we can yassify people on a like almost subconscious level, we can keep people scrolling, keep them watching the ads.
That's like the Instagram reels that I get served about people playing slot machines. And it's like people that are clearly there all night. And I think the reels is taking the bags out from under their eyes.
The fact that it's Rick Beato, though, is so fucking funny because, like, he's not a bad-looking guy, but he's like 70-something years old. He's a silver fox for sure. But he is like, no one is fucking watching his videos because of how he looks. They're watching it because of his decades of deep industry and musical knowledge.
Well, that also it makes it even worse, I'm sure, for him, because for him it makes him look like he's self-conscious about his looks or something, and he's not choosing to do this.
It's especially great because like the thing I like most about his videos is he has so many fucking boomer opinions about like music and pop culture, but he like backs them. He's very like good at actually justifying why he feels that way.
Yeah.
Like I've clicked on so many of his videos where like, oh, okay, let's watch the old man yell at the cloud, and then I'm like, okay, he did articulate a pretty good point there. But it just makes it extra funny that some Gen Z fucking bullshit like this would happen to him.
You got to go back and watch his shorts and see him yassify.
I need to see this.
Hey, smooth skin. Woo! Damn, he doesn't look a day over 40.
Yeah.
So it looks like for the time being that we are currently safe because we refuse, for better or worse, to participate in the YouTube Shorts program, no matter how much they bother us.
I knew there was something off about that the second I saw that as an option.
The whole thing is like, it's just view farming. And it's like, okay, maybe we'd get some new viewers or something, I guess. I don't know how it works. But like the whole thing is like, oh, well, now your channel has 1 billion views because someone scrolled by it for a second. I want my views to be legitimate, and I want my face to look like shit.
That's right. I don't want to lie to you about what's going on here.
Yeah, we are aging. Gracefully, but aging.
I only started moisturizing this year.
But if they're testing this on YouTube Shorts, it's only going to be a matter of time before they start deploying this on longer form videos. And the real sadness, it's going to arise if YouTube retroactively tries to improve videos from throughout the site's history, altering famous viral videos from years past and quite literally creating a slight Mandela effect because videos that you've seen 1,000 times there's something off about this. I don't remember it looking like this.
I mean, it's similar to like most of the N64 gameplay I've seen in the last decade has all been emulator shit. So when I actually see original standard def 640 by 480 N64 gameplay, I'm like, that is awful. I can barely tell what I'm looking at. That's not how I remember it. Because I remember it the way it's now, like HD.
Like, imagine, an old, like an old PewDiePie gameplay video or something where he's very visibly young or whatever, and it just HDifies it.
Keyboard cat.
Yeah.
You can see every wisp of hair on that.
Yeah, exactly.
Head.
Just overdoes it.
You can see the strings finally. It kind of ruins it.
It actually, because this was a huge thing in the mid to late 2000s with HDR photography, where it was just like, this looks like shit. They're overdoing this. It looks awful.
That's weird. It's where deep fried memes came from.
They did it so much that it made it look awful. And I feel like eventually, like every YouTube video, no matter how classic it is, it's gonna be like Charlie Bit My Finger is gonna be in pure fucking 4K UHD.
It's the only way to watch it.
Yeah, it's an original 35mm scan, up-res to 4K that we put on YouTube. But yeah, everyone's gonna start questioning their own reality, and everything that used to be on the internet is either not gonna fucking exist because it was just blown off the internet, or it's going to exist in a different form because they're like, oh, it looks so much better. It sounds so much better. Yeah.
Dumb.
Anyways, here's an actual good update. Because of the wonderful Labubu fan art, we've chosen one, and we're turning that into a t-shirt for the first time.
Yeah, you guys have been begging for merch for the entire length of this channel, and we've mostly ignored your pleas.
But now, because
mostly out of laziness.
But now that we've got a couple designs under the belt, we decided to use that Shopify code we keep telling you to use.
Yeah.
We have a store. It's not open yet. I currently have some demos of shirts ordered to check the quality, see which print style we like, And we're also waiting on maybe another design or two. But coming soon, within the next month probably, we're going to have a merch store where things you can buy. And it won't even be one of those, oh, just get it for 2 weeks. Nah, just fuck it. Put it up there. Maybe we'll take it down one day. Maybe we won't.
Maybe just to fuck with you.
Yeah.
Who knows?
But we should have some merch soon.
Yeah, merch.
And also, this is going to be a short week. It's Labor Day. So we're taking some labor
I
off.
respect the workers of the world.
That's right.
They should
so
unite.
We're doing one more episode this week, which will be where we film it like Wednesday or whatever. And then I'm going to go to Florida and see the family. And try to relax. It's probably not going to happen, but that's where I'll be.
Beautiful. Sunshine State.
And we'll be back next week. But we do have one more video coming up for you this week, so don't go anywhere. If you are going to go somewhere, click the videos that are going to pop up in a second. But like this video, hit the like button, do it. Leave a comment, reply to a comment, do all that fun stuff. Click the join button, I don't know, whatever. We'll see you soon with some merch and some more videos. In the meantime, have a good week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.